Hey everyone, how's it going? Today, Mike, the videographer, is not here, so this is a perfect opportunity to talk to you a little bit about how to make your own social media content. So, for those of you that know me, you know I have a full-time videographer, Mike from IFLA Media. He does a great job, but sometimes I film additional content either when he's not around or while he's filming something else. So I'm gonna give you a couple tips and tricks that I learned, and we're gonna focus on the social media aspect. So you're gonna see that this is shot in widescreen, but it's actually gonna be framed for 9:16, so we could completely cut this down into a portrait for social media. So come check this out. I'm gonna show you some tips and tricks. So what we're gonna be using today is we're gonna be using our iPhone 15 Pro Max, and then we're gonna be using our DJI microphone here. And our DJI microphone is the one that I found works best with iPhones, although the Rode microphone does work well. If you have the iPhone 15 Pro Max with the USB-C, you might be okay with that. But at the time, I had a lightning connector, and the DJI comes with a lightning connector. So if you're still using a phone with a lightning connector, I definitely believe that the DJI is going to be your best bet. So we have this DJI microphone. You can get one and a transmitter. The transmitter or the receiver is attached to my phone, which you can't see, but you get a set of these for I think $100 and some. And then what I have here is a lavalier microphone clipped to my chest, and we want that for good sound. We don't want to use the camera's internal sound. This is going to be a lot better, and you can get windscreens and stuff if you're a mobile detailer and you're working outside. So that's what I'm going to use. And if you notice, I'm staying in the center of the camera, and I'll show you, I have the camera with a grid set up which will show me where to stand so that I generally sit in the middle of the camera. And the reason that I like to do that is so that, you know, I like to put it in landscape mode. I'm a landscape guy, maybe I'm old school, but TikTok, Instagram, you know, Facebook ads, all that definitely favors a 9:16 content. So you'll see that I have my logo centered in the back. I'm centered, generally speaking, in the center of the camera, so it can be cropped in and used on both platforms. The next piece of equipment we're going to use is a really cheap tripod that has an iPhone or a general phone mount at the top. That's what's sitting on, that's what the camera is sitting on, is my tripod. It's extendable up and down. Now you can also use a gimbal. You could use the DJI Pocket system that has a gimbal and a camera and all that built in. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to illustrate for those of you that maybe don't have a ton of money to get the bare essentials. So you already have a phone. The DJI mic or a similarly quality mic is important. I would not get one of those cheap $20 or $30 ones. They all look the same. If you search them on Amazon, you'll see they all look the same. Get a good quality, either Rode or DJI mic. Get a lavalier mic and get a cheap tripod. So you already have the phone, so you're probably into this for under a couple $100. And then I'm gonna show you some ways and some tips to get on social media or get around social media with content that matters. Now, what do I mean when I say content that matters? What I mean, and thanks to Chris from Detailer's Roadmap for pointing this out, and we were already doing it here at Harker Heights Ceramic Coatings without realizing it, but he definitely pointed it out, and I talked about this at the Window Film Conference in my seminar, and Chris has talked about it on his Facebook group and on his page, and that is people want to see you doing things, okay? So we're putting invisible film on the car, you know, we're putting ceramic coating that's invisible on. Sure, it looks a little bit glossy, but really photos and all that kind of stuff can be completely manipulated. So, and just from a distance, you may not be able to tell even if it is glossier in person, and the same goes with paint correction. So one thing that people like to see is, you know, you doing the work, all right? So that's why we have a tripod, and that's what I'm gonna talk about and focus on today, is showing you how to make content where people are actually seeing you do the work. Now, people like to post a lot of pictures of like really clean cars and stuff, but if you think about this, if you're scrolling through Facebook and you like cars, and you may follow a bunch of accounts that post pictures of cars, As you're scrolling through your feed, you see nice cars, you see nice cars, see nice cars. They're all parked in a parking lot or parked outside or whatever the case. You're not gonna stop scrolling. Why are you not gonna stop scrolling? Because your whole feed is filled with that. But how many times are you scrolling on the feed where you see somebody actually installing a piece of film or holding a machine and using it? And so those are the things that we want to film, because that's what's going to stop the scroll, and that's also what's going to keep people interested in the first few seconds of a video ad. Okay, what you see here is, you see now I've got the tripod way down on the ground, and I've got the wheel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this, but I'm going to show you a couple different things, and then I'm going to put together a little reel at the end that shows you what these shots look like when it's composed into something cool, using really a simple program like CapCut. So I always like to try to use colors that contrast with the vehicle itself, because you know, I want the focus to stand out. Okay, for this video we're going to use 9 total clips. So this is number 2. Okay, clip number 3. Let's get some foam dripping. Okay, clip number 4. We're gonna wash the car with a pad. This is our double wide pad. All right, clip number 5, we're gonna rinse. All right, of course we're gonna dry, and you notice how I've got my branding in these last couple shots. Okay, what are we gonna do next? We're gonna polish, but I'm gonna film it in slow motion. All right, next clip I'm gonna film, we're gonna coat. Now we need a closing shot, so I like to try to do something kind of cool. So we'll see if it works. Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna do is put all those clips together in CapCut, figure out how to do it, and export it. I'll show you what that looks like right after this.